Gold in the Coffins. Written by Dominic Certo and Leonard Herrick. Narrated by Darren Stevens. Chapter 1. Man of the Year. Ironic, Donnie DeAngelo thinks to himself, as friends and supporters gather by the bar at De Rosa's. The old Italian restaurant is a New Jersey fixture for celebrating big events. On this wintry night in December, the Italian-American Police Association is giving him its Man of the Year award. DeAngelo's charitable contributions and achievements in the business community have been measured and deemed worthy by those attending this tribute to him: the mayor, the chief of police, numerous cops, FBI agents, and others in law enforcement and government positions. De Rosa's is packed, a warm testament to DeAngelo's popularity. Ironic, DeAngelo mumbles to himself as he thinks back on his early days of struggle. He sees the flashes of explosions that came close to taking his life in Vietnam. He remembers the blood-spattered faces of innocent children crying for their dead parents while covered in dirt and human waste. He recalls the stream of bodies wrapped in bags and shuttled onto a big copter. Could he have saved one more life? Was war a badge of guilt? And once again he yearns for an escape from the agonies of doubt and self-deprecation. He knows he was given a precious second chance, and that many others weren't so lucky. DeAngelo wonders whether his determination to better the lives of his family and friends was worth the many moral compromises he had to make, which involved working with people despised by almost everyone in the room. His blond hair and blue eyes make people think he might be Irish or Scandinavian, but DeAngelo's lineage is pure Sicilian. His father, Joseph Pasquale DeAngelo, a hardened World War II Marine, married Marie Pasquale after the war in a small village wedding outside Messina, Sicily. Joseph was proud, brave, principled, and hard-working, supporting Marie and their 5 children with a salary earned at his construction job in New Jersey. Donnie was the oldest of the children. Joseph never spared the rod in disciplining him, wanting to ensure his eldest grew up to be a leader, achieving more than he had. Perhaps in response, DeAngelo engaged in mischief throughout his adolescence. He would hold his own in street fights so well that he became an avid boxer and would later win his division title while serving with the Marines. Joining him in those hijinks were his high school friends, Tommy Ryan, Craig Anderson, and Big Lou Williams. After graduation, they all served in Vietnam together. Each of them ended up saving the lives of the others numerous times. They'd shared laughs and terrors and grown as close as any family. When they returned to the U.S., though, they didn't receive a heroic welcome. The country was divided and bitter regarding anything military. DeAngelo had struggled, working in construction while taking college courses at night financed by the GI Bill. It was a tough way to support a wife and 2 children. He and his young pre-war bride decided to divorce and raise their 2 children living apart, but providing alimony and child support payments was tough on Donnie. When DeAngelo was laid off in the dead of winter and his 2 children were screaming for new shoes, he decided it was time for a different career. He'd approached his closest friends from Nam, Craig Anderson, Big Lou Williams, and Connie Ryan, the widow of Tommy, for funds to start a vending machine business, with the aim of growing it into a restaurant chain. They were glad to loan him the money. He'd sworn to no longer accept mere scraps from a life filled with sweat and debt. But New Jersey mobsters weren't so accepting of DeAngelo's ambitions. He'd quickly learned they considered vending machines part of their turf, and that he'd therefore unwittingly entered into another war zone. But DeAngelo was no pushover. Between his father's beatings, his experiences taking care of himself on the streets of Newark, and his battles as a Marine, he'd learned to never back down. When wise guys threatened him, he just smiled and told them, "There's plenty for everybody." That wasn't what they wanted to hear. DeAngelo found his vending machines destroyed and his drivers harassed and beaten, always with a calling card that warned him to back off. DeAngelo's bold resistance met its match on a cold December night. After a long day, he was walking back to his car from the New Jersey Institute of Technology, where he'd just picked up the cash from his machines. Out of the corner of his eye, he'd noticed another car pulling up. DeAngelo had lived through enough to be able to smell
Sample complete. Ready to continue?